Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by asking you something real. Have you ever woken up and just felt off? Like the world's out to get you, your coffee's cold, your boss is breathing down your neck, and somehow the universe decided today's the day to test every ounce of your patience? We've all been there. But here's the kicker. What if I told you that the way you're feeling, that heavy, stuck, why me energy, doesn't have to run the show? What if I told you that a single shift, a choice you can make right now, could change not just your day, but your entire life? That shift is your attitude. A positive attitude isn't just some fluffy, feel-good bumper sticker slogan. It's a game changer, a life-altering superpower that can transform everything. And today I'm going to break down exactly how it works, why it matters, and how you can harness it to rewrite your story forever. Buckle up, because this is going to be a ride. Let's get one thing straight. Life is messy. It's unpredictable. It throws curveballs, big ones. Maybe you're dealing with a job you hate, or a relationship that's falling apart, or a dream that feels so far out of reach, it might as well be on Mars. And when you're in the thick of it, it's easy to spiral. It's easy to let negativity take the wheel and drive you straight into a ditch of self-doubt, fear, and frustration. But here's the truth. You can't control what life throws at you. You can't control the economy or the weather or what your annoying coworker says in the break room. But you can control how you respond. That's where a positive attitude comes in. It's not about pretending everything's perfect. It's about choosing to see possibility even when the world feels like it's crumbling. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. A positive attitude? Really? That's your big solution? Sounds like something my grandma would say. And I get it. On the surface, it sounds simplistic, like a Hallmark card or a cheesy motivational poster. But let me be clear, a positive attitude isn't about slapping a fake smile on your face and ignoring reality. It's not about toxic positivity or pretending you're happy when you're not. It's about training your brain to focus on what you can do, what you can learn, and what you can become no matter how tough things get. It's a mindset that says, this sucks, but I'm not going down with a fight. And that mindset, it's the difference between staying stuck and soaring. Let's talk science for a second, because this isn't just me preaching from a soapbox. Your brain is wired to respond to how you think. When you lean into negativity, when you dwell on what's wrong, what's unfair, what's impossible, your brain releases stress hormones like cortisol. That's the stuff that keeps you up at night, makes you feel like garbage, and clouds your ability to think straight. But when you shift to a positive attitude, when you focus on solutions, gratitude, or even just the tiniest sliver of hope, your brain starts pumping out dopamine and serotonin, chemicals that make you feel good, boost your creativity, and help you problem solve like a rock star. In other words, a positive attitude doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how your brain works. So how do you actually do this? How do you flip the switch from everything sucks to I've got this? It starts with awareness. You got to catch yourself in the act. The next time you're spiraling, maybe you're stuck in traffic, or you got passed over for a promotion, or your kid just spilled juice all over your new couch, pause and take a breath. Notice what you're saying to yourself. Are you thinking, this always happens to me? Or I'm such a failure? Those thoughts aren't facts. They're stories you're telling yourself. And you have the power to change the narrative. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can do right now to make this better? That question alone can snap you out of victim mode and into action. But let's be real, changing your attitude isn't a one and done deal. It's not like you decide to be positive once and suddenly your life's a Disney movie. It's a practice, it's a muscle you've got to build. And like any muscle, it gets stronger the more you use it. Start small. Maybe you wake up tomorrow and instead of scrolling through your phone, drowning in bad news, or comparing yourself to strangers on social media, you write down 3 things you're grateful for. Doesn't have to be profound. Maybe it's your dog's wagging tail, or the fact that you've got a roof over your head, or that first sip of coffee. Gratitude rewires your brain to notice the good, and over time, that shifts your entire perspective. Now, let's talk about the ripple effect. A positive attitude doesn't just change you, it changes the people around you. Think about it. When you walk into a room radiating negativity, complaining about everything, what happens? You drag everyone else down with you. It's like you're a human rain cloud, dampening the vibe. But when you show up with energy, with optimism, with a let's make this work attitude, you lift the room. You inspire others. You become a magnet for opportunities because people want to be around someone who makes them feel like anything's possible. Your attitude is contagious. Make it something worth catching. Let's dig deeper into why this matters so much. A positive attitude isn't just about feeling better in the moment. It's about creating a better future. When you approach life with a mindset of possibility, you start to see opportunities you'd otherwise miss. Maybe you're in a dead-end job, but instead of complaining, you start looking for ways to learn new skills or network with people who can open doors. Number 10. Maybe you're going through a breakup, but instead of wallowing, you use that pain to rediscover who you are and what you want. A positive attitude turns obstacles into stepping stones. It's the difference between saying, this is the end, and this is where I begin. I want to share a quick story, not about anyone specific, but about a pattern I've seen over and over. Imagine someone who's hit rock bottom. Maybe they've lost their job, their savings are gone, and they're staring at a mountain of bills. It's easy to give up in that moment, to let despair take over. But the people who come out on top, they're the ones who choose to believe that something better is possible. They're the ones who wake up every day and say, I don't know how I'm going to fix this, but I'm going to try. They take one step, then another, and before they know it, they're not just surviving, they're thriving. That's the power of a positive attitude. It's not magic. Let's talk about failure for a minute, because failure is where a positive attitude really shines. Nobody likes failing. It stings. It makes you question everything. But here's the thing. Failure is inevitable. You're going to mess up. You're going to fall flat on your face. The question is, what do you do next? A negative attitude says, I'm done. I'm not good enough. A positive attitude says, okay, that didn't work. What can I learn? What can I try next? Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. And a positive attitude is what helps you dust yourself off, pivot, and keep going. Now, I'm not saying this is easy. Life can be brutal. There are days when positivity feels like climbing a mountain with no gear. Maybe you're dealing with grief or chronic illness or a situation that feels utterly hopeless. In those moments, a positive attitude doesn't mean denying your pain. It means giving yourself permission to feel it, but also reminding yourself that you're stronger than you think. It's about finding one tiny thing to hold on to, a memory, a goal, a person who believes in you, and letting that be your anchor. That's how you keep moving forward, even when the world feels like it's against you. Let's talk about relationships, because your attitude shapes those too. When you approach people with positivity, with openness, kindness, and a belief that things can work out, you build stronger connections. You become someone others trust, someone they want to collaborate with, someone they root for. But when you're stuck in negativity, you push people away, you create walls. A positive attitude doesn't just make you feel better, It makes your relationships richer, deeper, and more resilient. It's the glue that holds teams, families, and friendships together. Here's another angle. A positive attitude helps you take risks. Think about it. When you're stuck in a negative mindset, you're scared to step out of your comfort zone. You're worried about failing, about looking stupid, about what people will think. But when you've got a positive attitude, you're more likely to say, screw it, let's try. You're more likely to apply for that job, start that business, or have that tough conversation. Positivity gives you courage. It's like a mental safety net that says, even if this doesn't work out, I'll figure it out. And that's how you grow. That's how you change your life. Let's get practical for a second. How do you build this positive attitude muscle? One way is to surround yourself with the right people. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're constantly around complainers, cynics, or people who tear you down, good luck staying positive. But if you surround yourself with people who lift you up, who challenge you to be better, who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself, watch how your attitude shifts. Find your cheerleaders, find your tribe. They'll help you stay on track. Another tool, reframe your problems. This is a big one. The next time something goes wrong, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? That simple shift changes everything. Maybe that rejection from a job wasn't a failure. Maybe it was a redirection to something better. Maybe that argument with your partner wasn't a disaster. Maybe it was a chance to understand each other better. Reframing doesn't erase the problem, but it gives you a new lens to see it through. And that lens can make all the difference. Let's talk about self-talk, because this is where the rubber meets the road. The way you talk to yourself shapes your reality. If you're constantly saying, I'm not good enough, or I'll never figure this out, guess what? Your brain believes you. But if you start saying, I'm doing my best, or I'm learning as I go, or even I've got this, you start to believe that too. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about choosing words that empower you. Try it. Next time you're beating yourself up, stop and say something kind instead. It feels weird at first, but it's a game changer. Now let's address the skeptics in the room. Some of you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but what about systemic issues? What about injustice or poverty or things I can't control? And you're right, there are big structural problems in the world that a positive attitude alone can't fix. But here's the thing, a positive attitude gives you the resilience to navigate those challenges. It gives you the clarity to find solutions, the courage to advocate for change, and the strength to keep going when the odds are stacked against you. It's not a cure-all, but it's a tool, one that can help you fight smarter and stronger. But let's talk about health for a minute, because your attitude impacts your body too. Studies show that people with a positive outlook tend to have lower blood pressure, better immune function, and even longer lifespans. Why? Because positivity reduces stress, and stress is a silent killer. When you're stuck in negativity, your body's in a constant state of fight or flight, which wears you down over time. But when you cultivate a positive attitude, you're giving your body a break, you're helping it heal, recharge, and thrive. So if you want to live longer and feel better, your attitude is a great place to start. Another benefit? A positive attitude makes you more adaptable. The world is changing fast. New technology, new challenges, new opportunities. If you're stuck in a negative mindset, you're more likely to resist change, to cling to the way things used to be. But with a positive attitude, you're open to learning, to pivoting, to reinventing yourself. You're not afraid to say, I don't know how to do this yet, but I'll figure it out. That adaptability is what keeps you relevant, what keeps you growing, what keeps you ahead of the curve. Let's talk about purpose, because a positive attitude helps you find yours. When you're bogged down by negativity, it's hard to see the bigger picture. You're so focused on what's wrong that you lose sight of what matters. But when you approach life with positivity, you start to notice the things that light you up. the causes you care about, the people you want to help, the legacy you want to leave. This positive attitude gives you the clarity to ask, what am I here for? And the courage to go after it. Now let's get to the heart of it. A positive attitude changes your life forever because it changes you. It's not about fixing your circumstances, though it can help with that. It's about becoming someone who's resilient, resourceful, and unstoppable. It's about becoming someone who looks at a challenge and says, I'm ready. Someone who looks at a setback and says, I'll come back stronger. Someone who looks at their life with all its mess and beauty and says, I'm going to make this count. That's the kind of person a positive attitude creates. And that's the kind of person who changes the world. Let's talk about the long game. A positive attitude isn't just about today or tomorrow. It's about the next decade, the next chapter, the next generation. When you cultivate positivity, you're not just improving your own life, you're setting an example for others. Your kids, your coworkers, your community, they're watching, they're learning from you. When they see you choose hope over despair, action over apathy, resilience over resignation, they're inspired to do the same. Your attitude doesn't just shape your life, it shapes the future. But here's the flip side. Negativity is a trap. It's seductive. It's easy to fall into because it feels justified. The world's unfair, you say. I've been through too much, and maybe you have. But dwelling on that doesn't fix it. It doesn't move you forward. It just keeps you stuck, spinning your wheels, wasting your potential. A positive attitude is your way out. It's your escape hatch. It's the choice to say, I'm not letting my past define my future. And that choice, it's freedom. Let's talk about action, because a positive attitude isn't just about thinking happy thoughts. It's about doing the work. Positivity without action is like a car without gas. It's not going anywhere. So when you catch yourself feeling optimistic, use that energy, make a plan, take a step, even if it's small, even if it's just sending an email or signing up for a class or having a conversation you've been avoiding. That step matters. Action fuels positivity and positivity fuels action. It's a cycle that can carry you further than you ever imagined. Now, let's address the doubters one more time. Some of you might be thinking, this sounds exhausting. I don't have the energy to be positive all the time. And I hear you. Life can be draining. But here's the secret. A positive attitude doesn't require you to be bubbly or cheerful 24/7. It's not about being on all the time. It's about making a choice in the quiet moments to believe in yourself, to believe in possibility, to believe that you're worth fighting for. That choice doesn't take energy, it gives it. Let's talk about gratitude again, because it's the foundation of a positive attitude. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you for the big stuff. It's about noticing the small stuff too. The way the sun feels on your face, the sound of your favorite song, the fact that you're here right now with a chance to make things better. When you practice gratitude, you train your brain to see abundance instead of lack. You start to realize that even on your worst days, there's something worth holding on to. And that realization is a lifeline. Let's talk about resilience, because that's what a positive attitude builds. Life is going to knock you down. There's no avoiding it. But a positive attitude is what helps you get back up. It's what helps you say, I'm not done yet. It's what helps you keep going, even when you're tired, even when you're scared, even when you don't know what's next. Resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about being bendable. It's about adapting, learning, and growing stronger with every hit. And a positive attitude is the fuel that keeps that fire burning. Let's talk about joy, because a positive attitude opens the door to it. When you're stuck in negativity, joy feels like a luxury you can't afford. But when you shift your mindset, you start to notice the little moments of happiness that were there all along. The laugh you share with a friend, the pride you feel when you finish a project, the quiet satisfaction of a job well done. A positive attitude doesn't create joy out of thin air. It helps you see the joy that's already there waiting for you to claim it. Now let's talk about legacy. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. What do you want to be remembered for? Do you want to be the person who complained, who gave up, who let life win? Or do you want to be the person who fought, who inspired, who made a difference? A positive attitude is what helps you build a legacy you're proud of. It's what helps you leave the world a little better than you found it. And that's a goal worth chasing. Let's get real about time, because it's the one thing you can't get back. Every minute you spend in negativity is a minute you're not spending on your dreams, your goals, your happiness. A positive attitude helps you make the most of the time you've got. It helps you focus on what matters, cut through the noise, and go after what you want with everything you've got. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about showing up for your life day after day with the belief that you can make it count. Let's talk about fear, because fear is the biggest roadblock to a positive attitude. Fear tells you to stay small, to play it safe, to avoid the unknown. But a positive attitude is what helps you face fear head on. It's what helps you say, I'm scared, but I'm doing it anyway. It's what helps you take that leap even when your knees are shaking. And here's the thing, every time you choose positivity over fear, you get stronger. You prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. And that's how you build a life you love. Let's talk about community, because a positive attitude doesn't just change you, it changes the world around you. When you show up with positivity, you inspire others to do the same. You create a ripple effect that spreads far beyond your own life. Maybe you're the person who smiles at a stranger and makes their day. Maybe you're the coworker who rallies the team when everyone's stressed. Maybe you're the parent who teaches your kids to keep going no matter what. Your attitude has the power to shape your community, to build connection, to make the world a little brighter. Let's talk about growth, because a positive attitude is the soil where growth happens. When you approach life with positivity, you're open to learning, to trying new things, to becoming a better version of yourself. You're not afraid to admit you don't have all the answers, because you know that's where the good stuff happens. In the messy, uncertain, I'm figuring it out moments, positive attitude turns every experience into a chance to grow, and that's how you build a life that's rich, full, and meaningful. Let's talk about hope, because that's what a positive attitude is really about. Hope isn't naive, it's brave. It's the belief that things can get better, even when the evidence says otherwise. It's the courage to keep going, even when the path is unclear. It's the spark that keeps you moving forward, no matter what. A positive attitude fuels hope, and hope fuels everything else. Your dreams, your relationships, your impact. It's the foundation of a life well lived. Let's talk about choice, because that's the core of it all. A positive attitude is a choice you make every single day. It's not something that happens to you, it's something you do. And the beauty of that, it means you're in control. No matter what's going on around you, no matter how hard things get, you have the power to choose how you show up. You have the power to choose positivity, to choose resilience, to choose hope, and that choice can change everything. Okay, let's wrap this up with a challenge. Starting today, I want you to try something. For the next week, commit to choosing a positive attitude. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect. Life's too messy for that. But every time you catch yourself slipping into negativity, pause, take a breath, ask yourself, what's one positive thing I can focus on right now? Write it down, act on it, and watch what happens. Watch how your mood shifts, how your relationships improve, how your opportunities multiply. Watch how your life starts to change. Because here's the truth. A positive attitude isn't just a mindset. It's a revolution. It's a rebellion against despair, against mediocrity, against a life half lived. It's a commitment to showing up, to fighting for what matters, to becoming the person you are meant to be. And when you make that commitment, when you choose positivity day after day, you don't just change your life, you change the world. So go out there and do it. Choose positivity, choose possibility, choose a life that lights you up. You've got this, and I can't wait to see what you do with it.